everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina. I'm a crafter living in Ontario, Canada, and this is my Flosstube channel where I talk all about my cross stitch projects and sometimes other crafts, but mostly just cross stitch. So this is episode 16 and today is April 1st. So this is about, I think it's been just under 2 weeks since my last video. So I'm going to talk about the progress I made in the last 2 weeks, talk about the March goals and whether I finished them, and then I'm going to talk about my April goals. So in March, in the past 2 weeks since my last video, I've had 2 finishes. Well, one is a finish and then one is like kind of a finish. And then I had 2 whips that I worked on and I had 2 new starts. So first up is actually the finish is my April design. So my design shop is called Sweet Violet Stitch Co. There'll be a link below if you want to check it out. And so this is the second in my monthly houses series. So I did March and now this is April. So this is called Carrot House, and this is what it looks like. It's stitched on a 36 count linen in flax, and I've done it 2/2. It's all DMC, regular DMC, and then 1 color variations, and the total stitch count is 75 by 75. So this is being released today. It's in my shop now. And if you're interested, you can go and check it out there. And thank you so much to everybody who has gone and favorited my shop and my patterns and purchased. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. There is April. So the next up was kind of a finish. It was the Heaven and Earth design stitch along, and I was working on part 1 and I wanted to get part 1 done before we got the pages for part 2. So I was able to do that. In my last video I said I had 2,986 stitches left to do, and so I did finish that. The total number of stitches I did on this piece in March was 6,393 stitches. So I'm calling part 1 finished, although there was 6 stitches that I didn't do, but that's just because I have to find, like, I didn't buy the thread because it only had like a few stitches, and so I just need to find it in a different project and just finish those stitches. But I'm calling part 1 finished. So there's what it looks like. Done. I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. I think the last time, I'll put up a picture of the last time and what the finished piece will look like. But last time I think I still had like a lot of this area left to do, and I was like, had been slowly working my way this way. This looks like it's actually, there are light stitches there. So when I hold it back, it kind of looks like it's not stitched, but it is. The only spot that is missing stitches is just right in this section here. There's a couple stitches, so it's just 6 stitches that are missing. So I just received part 2, so I'll go over what I want to do when we do the April goals, but part 1 is done. So after I finished that brought all my goals done for March except for Christmas Bell Sampler, which I am waiting on my 1, 2, 3 stitch order to come in. So once it gets here, I can go back to working on that because I needed more of the gentle art thread that I ran out of. Once that gets here, I'll work on that. So that'll have to go into an April goal instead. So I pulled out a whip and I decided I wanted to start doing daily 100. So 100 stitches a day on a whip. It won't be the same whip like for the whole year. Like, it's not going to be the same whip until that whip's finished. I'm going to change it out, but for the past, I just started it this past week. So for the past week, I have been doing this pavane for these times by Long Dog Samplers. So and I've been doing at least 100 stitches a day on it. So here is where it is now. So basically I've done this bottom motif here, and I finished off. There was a little bit missing on this one. And then I came up here and I brought down this piece, and then I started in on this. This is a big motif. It goes into the middle here. So I started on that motif. So it's been a lot of fun because 100 stitches is not a huge, it's not a huge amount that I have to get in every day, but I am seeing steady progress on this piece, which I am enjoying. So, in the past, as I said, it's only been about a week. Sometimes I do more than 100. It's usually like 3 strands of floss, and so it ends up being like somewhere around like 140 stitches. If I'm really enjoying it that day, I'll do more, but I'm doing at least 100. So I did in the past week 877 stitches on this piece, and that brings me up to 21.4% complete. So okay, and then so that was my daily 100, and then once I was done working on that for the day, I was moving on to a different piece. So for a little while, I would say maybe about a week, I was doing the Grand Library, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs, but the artwork is by Amy Stewart. So I pulled that out and I was doing a bit on that, which, let's see, yeah. So I'm not holding the whole thing out. I'm just showing you where I was working. I was just working up in this top corner. So I put in a lot more of, there's like a dark purple in here that I put in and some lighter purples. I did a bit of green, this light pink, and I came down here and did all of this green down here. So that's where I'm sitting on the Grand Library. Let me hold the whole thing out. So it's a very big piece, but I am working in. So I had originally planned to do color completing. And so I did color complete the first color, which had the most amount of stitches, which was that like dark maroon, like maroon red here. And then I was going to color complete again, but I decided I'm going to start working in this top corner because I want to see some of the design coming in, instead of just like blocks all over the place. So I am starting up here and I'm kind of like picking a color and then taking it around where I see it and stuff. So there's no real method to my madness here. I just kind of pick what I want and stitch it. So I ended up doing 2,018 stitches on this, and I brought myself to 5.1% complete. Okay, then I had 2 new starts because I don't already have enough projects on the go. But I had, was it in my last video? I mentioned that I purchased some like spring type patterns from Cressetta Gogo and Madame Chantilly. And so I ended up starting 2 patterns out of that. So this one is from Cressetta Gogo. I'll put a picture of what the finished piece looks like. I'm calling it Hen. I can't remember what the actual name is. It's something like Spring Friends or something like that. I'll put the name down here as well, of what the actual name is. But I purchased this on Etsy from Cressetta Gogo. So I did 631 stitches done, and I just started this on March 27th. So that's where I'm at. All of these are the called for color except for that blue. I couldn't find in my stash I couldn't find the right blue, so I just went, I think they wanted 927 and this is 928. It just went down 1 color. And then on March 30th, I decided to start Celebrate Spring by Madame Chantilly. So here's a picture of what it's gonna look like. and this is where I am on that. So I've done that bird in the top corner, and it's hard to see there. If I come closer, you can see there's a bunch of little pink, the little pink flowers are coming in here. So that is, I started on March 30th, and I've done 456 stitches so far on this. Okay. So just a couple of March statistics for you. I like tracking my stitches and stuff, so I just wanted to share that with you all. I don't know how many of you are actually interested in stats or not, but in March, I worked on 10 different projects. And so I tend to take one project and I'll work on it until I meet that goal. I don't really like switching every day. So I have a couple of Q-snaps, and then I just Q-snaps or nerd hoops, and I just pick a couple of projects, and those are the ones I work on every day until the goal is met. So I ended up working on 10 different projects this month, and the total number of stitches I did this month was 17,831, and that's actually a little bit lower than my other months. I'm just gonna go take a look quickly at what my other months were. Let's see. January. Oh, actually, it's higher than January. So January is only 15,479. And then February, February was a really good month for me stitching wise. And I did 19,871. So March is kind of in the middle there. I think March is probably more average. Like the beginning started off slow for me, but then I had more time towards the end of the month. So I was able to pick up quite a bit of stitching at the end of the month. So I ended up with 17,831 stitches done in March. And that consisted of 2 new starts, 1 finish, 1 partial finish, and 2 whips. So, or not 2 whips, it would be more than that. But 2 new starts and, 2 new starts and 1 finish. So, going on to April, my April goals. So whip go numbers were called. I can't remember what numbers they were, but my projects ended up being Fancy and ABC by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I need to do 1,500 stitches. So I'm just going to show you a picture of what the finished piece will look like. And this is where I am right now, is right here. And this is a 28 count. I'm doing 1/1 on a 28 count for this piece. And that's where I'm sitting right now. So I need to do 1,500 stitches on this piece to meet my whip go goal. Second whip go call was All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna Designs. So this is a picture of what the finished piece will look like. And then so this is where I'm at on it. And my whip go goal will be to add 1,500 stitches to that as well. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm gonna work. I might work like in this, in this section here. But yeah, I'll get 1,500 stitches on that. This is a 32 count that I'm going over to, and this is actually my only project that I'm using Anchor floss on, not DMC. It's charted in Anchor, and when I tried to do the DMC conversion, I didn't really like the colors, so I ended up just getting all the Anchor floss for it. So this is done in Anchor. Okay, third goal will be the Bienvenue, the burst sampler that I'm doing for my daughter. So another 2,700 stitches on that. My Heaven and Earth designed stitch along. So I've calculated now to finish part 2 before part 3 comes out, I'll need to do 5,600 stitches per month, about 5,600 stitches per month. So that's less than I was doing because the first part had more stitches. The first part had 3 full pages. This has 2 full pages and 1 partial page. So for the first part, I was doing 7,700 stitches a month, and now I only need to do 5,600 stitches per month. So that cut down quite a bit for me. So I think that will be attainable still. And then I'm gonna keep working on my daily 100. So for my for pavane, for these times, I may work on it until I get to the 25% complete mark, because that feels like a good point to get to. It's like 25% by 2025. So if I can get that one to 25% and then move on to a different one, that would be nice. But other than that, like, I will eventually switch it out. So for now, that's going to be my daily 100 still. After the 25%, I don't know what one would be next, but for now, I will continue with the daily 100 on pavane. And then I also want to keep working on my smalls. So I know Celebrate Spring's not really a small, but the hen is a small, and then I have another one that's like a bunny that is also a small. And I have my Tiny Modernist Blackbird Singing. That's also a small. So between those, I want to work on those as well. So those are all of my April goals. And I think it's doable. Like March had a lot. Oh, I guess I have to add in that I need to finish Christmas Bells Sampler as part of my April goals. So that kind of adds quite a bit onto it. I think it's like another 3,000 something stitches. But I think it's attainable. But if not, again, they're just goals. They're not really strict. It's just to see progress on my pieces is, at the end of the day, what I want to do. So today is April 1st, so I get to start on all of my goals for this month. That's everything I have to talk about today. If you would be so kind as to check out my pattern release, favorite my shop, or favorite the pattern if you like it. And also, if you enjoyed my videos, please like and subscribe. I hit 500 subscribers recently, and that was super exciting to me. So if you do enjoy these videos, I would love it if you would like and subscribe down below. Thank you so much. Bye.